Hello, how are you guys doing today? So we're here to have a good time talking with Vera. And Vera, where are you from?
Hi, I'm from Switzerland, but I live in the Netherlands.
So you live in the Netherlands. You're from Switzerland, but
Yes.
you told me you also lived in Germany.
Yes, I basically grew up in Germany, which is basically closer to here than to Switzerland.
Okay.
But
Well, I know we already talked a little bit, and I know a few things about you, but it's time for other people to have their conversation with you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, and I'll let Simone take over.
I'm just going to give a little introduction for Vladimir and for Heider, who are here. And I think this is a very special situation that Vera and I found each other and how we met and how we're still in touch. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. Vera can correct me if I say something wrong. We met in 2005 in Brazil. I left Brazil when I was 18, so it was like 1998. I pretty much left Brazil, living in many different countries and working everywhere. But anyhow, I was in Brazil, Ouro Preto, during Carnival time, just having a good time with friends. And then I met Vera, who was also there with friends celebrating Carnival in Brazil for the first time. So for what I recall, she just told me I'm from Switzerland, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm Brazilian. I live here. I don't live here. I don't know where I'm at. I think back then I was going to France. I think it was just when I was about to leave Brazil to start my adventure in France. Anyhow, we kept in touch. Later, I met my husband, Philippe, and he lives in the Netherlands, as you guys know. So I was still in touch with Vera. So we met again here in Europe. She was living like 45 minutes from where I was living. And I think that when we met, it was in 2009 or 10, Vera?
something
When
like
you're
that.
living
I
in
don't
Aachen?
quite recall. It was around this time period, yeah.
Then she moved back to Switzerland, and we didn't talk for like 5 years or more. I had my children. We are not in touch. One day, I was going to the swimming pool with my husband, and a strange lady approaches me. I was just like, in my head, and I was just like, I know this person, but I don't remember. I don't remember her name. I don't remember. So I was here 5 minutes from my house. And I was just like, hi, do I know you? Where do we meet? I know you, but where? And then she told me, in Brazil. I was like, in Brazil? You don't look Brazilian at all. How did I meet you in Brazil? And then she told me, I'm Vera. Oh my God. That's how we connect. And now she lives 5-10 minutes from me. It's unbelievable. And she's also with a Dutch man like me. What a small world. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So now she wants to help us out with English Brazil International, and she's here to give you guys some of her wisdom. She's very smart, and she's lived like me in different countries. She knows a lot of cultures as well. So Vera, why don't you go ahead and tell them where you learned English?
No, yeah. I basically, no, basics I learned in school, but then I'm not a school language learner, let's say. I need to have the real experience to actually learn it. So when I was 16, I had the opportunity to go to England. So I lived half a year in England, in Worthing. It's really quite a small city by the sea. And there I went to college. College in England is a bit different from college in the United States. It's earlier in life. So there I learned English. I lived with a family. And then I went back home when I was 17 to finish school in Germany.
Okay. So do you guys have any questions? I mean, it's clear she was born in Switzerland. Her parents moved to Germany. When she was 16, she went to the UK, stayed there for a year, and then went back to Germany. And where in Germany?
I grew up in Bochum, which is, yeah, I don't know, it's not a big city, but it's also not really small. It's unknown because it's in the midst of a lot of big cities. It's close to Cologne, basically. Cologne may be known.
I think
So-
Vladimir, you've been to Cologne, haven't you? No, no.
No.
Oh, I didn't go to Germany.
I've been
Okay.
I've been to Germany, but I've been to other places, but not Cologne.
Oh,
Okay. Where did you go?
I've been to Berlin. I've been to Düsseldorf.
Oh, that's close by, yeah.
yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
thought you'd have gone to. Really? That's strange. It's not even 1 hour difference, is it?
And Frankfurt.
Okay.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's close to Düsseldorf, if you know that. It's like not 1 hour away from Bochum, so yeah. And that's where I grew up and went to school. And then later, after school, I went to live in Italy. No, first I went to Brazil to explore for like 6 weeks. And then I went to Italy and lived there half a year to au pair, as an au pair, basically. And then went back to Germany, moved to Aachen and studied architecture. And after I finished my studies, I moved to Switzerland, back to Zurich, and worked there until I met Thomas, the Dutchman. We had a long distance relationship for like 6 years, and then I thought like, yeah, maybe give the Netherlands a chance. So I moved here, and I'm here since 4 years. So yeah,
Wow.
basically.
Unbelievable.
So how do you like
Do
the
you speak Italian?
Netherlands?
Netherlands, it's nice. It's like really open people. It's a bit flat for my taste, but it's really, yeah. Also, Maastricht lies in the hills of Netherlands, but still it's really flat when you come from Switzerland. But yeah, people are super nice and open, and they, yeah, more open than Swiss people at least.
So in Switzerland, in Zurich, where you're from, is it mountainous there?
No, but it takes you like half an hour drive and you're in the middle of the mountains, so it's like really not far. And you see them on the horizon, like
Okay.
the snow mountains. Yeah.
So Vera, tell us, like when you were in Italy, you learned a little bit Italian, right?
Yes, I did.
However, in your country, you have 3 national language.
4 actually.
Oh, 4. Just tell
yeah.
us about that.
Yeah, in Switzerland you have the German part where you speak Swiss German, which German people don't understand basically.
Really?
And then
Really?
you have
They really
Yeah.
don't understand the people in Switzerland.
no. It's such a heavy accent. It's basically a different language because it has different grammar, it has different words, it has a lot
Wow.
of influence from French, but it's not a written language, so it's a dialect.
Okay.
That's how the story goes. Even so, it feels like a different language.
Mhm.
And then we have French part, and we have the Italian part, and then between the German part and the Italian part in the east of the mountains, there's a small region where they speak Romansh, which is a really small language. And it's really, actually, people say it's best understandable from Portuguese people. So there are a lot of, a lot of Portuguese people work in Switzerland in constructions. So they talk to the people who speak Romansh best because they just understand each other. It's really funny.
Oh, how
Wow.
interesting.
That's number 4 of the languages, really unknown. And that
And
is
English.
really written language with grammar, so it's official
And
language.
they speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
English is like not everyone, obviously, but English is like one of the first languages you need to learn in school. So it's actually I find it a little bit sad when you live in German, Switzerland, you first learn English and then you learn French, which is not, in my eyes, it's not really logical. But
Yeah, in Belgium is the same. But Vera, tell us, so English, I mean, Swedish German, Swiss German is different from German. How about
Yes.
French? Swiss French is exactly the same as
I was
French?
thinking the same.
No, it's not. I don't really speak French and I don't speak Swiss French, but it's like if what I hear from people, it's also a really heavy accent. And in my experience, if I go to Switzerland where they speak French, I do understand it better than when I'm in France or in Belgium, because they have the same sort of tune in it as the German Swiss. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's quite strange. I cannot explain why, but it's just what I observed.
So how many languages do you speak? 4 or 5?
Yeah, if you count Swiss German as a language, it's 5. If you don't, it's 4. It's Swiss German, German, Dutch, English, Italian.
There you go, girl. But Vladimir, you speak a little Italian, don't you?
Yes, but it's been long time. I think it's buried somehow. But I think if I pick up, things starts to come back to me as well as French. But I think I think I would know more today to speak a little bit of French than Italian. Yeah, it's there somehow. If I start to practice, then it would come back eventually.
Yeah, same here actually. Italian isn't used much, so it's kind of buried.
Yeah, I find Switzerland so amazing and so interesting, but on the part of with the language, it's craziness because it's such a small country, and you have all this soup of letters. Everything is so mixed. I do have a friend that lives there, and then I see them talking between themselves. It's one language dialect. They understand each other, but then they speak with the other people in the same country, and then with different languages as well. It's like for me, it's like, oh, the Swiss, they know all the languages. They are like a computer. You just press the SAP button, and they know all the languages. It's crazy.
That's funny. Nice way to look at it.
Heather, do you have any questions?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm impressed with you guys. I'm impressed with your experience abroad. Okay, so I'm here just to practice my listen because I need to understand how you English speaker advanced speak. All right, how you speak, because what you speak is, for me, in my opinion, is a little easy, okay, but most interesting in my case, because I learning short time, okay. I need to understand how you guys speak because it's a kind of input to me. And
Where
I
do you
need
live,
to
Heather?
understand. I need to understand how you speak. It's input, and make my brain process and create my output.
You're giving some
Right.
inputs to your computer, huh? You're feeding the
Yeah,
computer.
yeah. So I beginner, okay. To be honest, I started
No, you are
studying.
intermediate, Eder. You are
Okay,
intermediate.
okay.
No, there's no way you're a beginner talking
No.
like
No.
that.
No,
You're good.
I just started English for 4 or 5 years ago.
You're doing
Okay,
good.
I of course I had a traditional English course, and then I decided to study English by myself. All right, so I changed the way. I create my one way to study English. To be honest, I don't study English. I just practice my speaking, my listen. I read, I listen, I read, I listen, I read. Because in my case, of course, in my case, is I don't need to learn English to improve my career, to make an English test, to have a job interview. I just speak English because I
It's
decide
fun.
keeping my mind work, okay, my brain work to create my brain new connections, of course, connections in English because uh, study English became a hobby for me. It's kind of hobby.
Yeah, learning a new language definitely challenges your brain, and that's really important when you grow old to keep doing that. Very
Vera,
good.
I am impressed. If you
Yeah.
just start learning like 5 years ago, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Is that because of English Brazil? It must be. It must be. All your practice and conversation classes, unbelievable. Do you have a little question to Vera, maybe? About her life or Switzerland?
Yeah, so the traditional question, how is life in abroad?
How is
How is
life?
life in Switzerland, for
How
example?
how is life in Switzerland?
Yeah.
Cold.
No, not in the summer. It's definitely not cold. It can be cold in winter. But then you just drive up a mountain and you're back in sunshine. In the snow, but still, it's snow and sunshine is really nice place to be, even if it is cold. But in the summer, it's nice and warm. We get around like 30 degrees regularly.
Wow.
There is a lot of lakes and rivers you can swim in. The water is really, really clean.
And cold.
It depends. Like the Lake of Zurich, in summer, it manages to get up to like 22 degrees, which is really nice to cool off. So, and it's also okay to swim for like half an hour. So that is actually a part I totally miss here because we do not have it in the Netherlands. And the mountains I do miss, yeah. And how is life? Yeah, I don't know. It's like really structured. Everything is really clean in Switzerland.
And expensive.
True, which doesn't really impact you as much if you work there, because if you work there, it's like you earn a lot, which is, if you look from the outside, it's really not a lot. But if you need to have your life there and pay all the costs in Switzerland, then it's not so much anymore. So
Vera,
yeah.
I heard Switzerland has the highest salary in Europe.
Yeah.
So what is the minimum salary? Tell them.
I'm not quite sure what's I do know what's
I
the
saw was 2,200 euros minimum salary.
yeah, something like this could be, yeah. But it's also like it's really hard to find an apartment that costs less than 1,000 euros a month. So you do definitely need that. It depends on also where you live, obviously. If you live in Zurich, the How do you say that? There's like you mostly earn more than you when you live in a little village somewhere else in Switzerland. Also, obviously, depending on what you're working as, but in Zurich, hoe zeg je dat? Gemiddelde?
Gemiddelde, average,
The average salary is like 7,000 Swiss francs, which is because there's a lot of banks and a lot of people earning a lot, because there are still people in Zurich earning like 3,500 Swiss francs a month. They work in the supermarkets. And then when you go to the rest of Switzerland, the average salary drops to like 4,000 Swiss francs. So it's like a huge difference on where you live.
Okay.
So,
and when you convert that to euros, how much is that then? So 7,000 Swiss.
I think it's Swiss francs is the value is higher than euros. It changed in the last
France,
years.
They don't use the euro. They don't use the euro in France.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But
No,
they
it's
still have French
Switzerland.
francs.
Switzerland.
Sorry?
Oh, you said Swiss francs. I'm sorry. I'm thinking French francs.
No, it's Swiss francs, and they don't. We are not part of the European Union, so we are not using the euro, and that's actually also part why the economy is still so strong, because we do not have to carry all the European countries and subside them.
But it's widely accepted, right? If I go with euro, because as far as I remember, when I was in Zurich, I was with euros, and I believe
it definitely is. But the downside is that they make it more expensive even when you pay in euros. So yeah,
okay.
It's not really interesting to pay in euros.
Yeah. The housing market, I used to move people. Well, I still do, but when I was living in Europe, I had some cases going to Switzerland, and the housing market there was crazy, challenging. And also, if you rent, by the time you need to give the apartment back, you have to give it back the same way you took. In other words, you need to pay, you need to paint the whole house to give it back to the landlord, isn't it? I mean, it's crazy.
It depends on, you don't necessarily need to paint. It depends on how long you live there and what's the state, because there is like a normal usage, which is accepted.
Wear and tear.
Yeah, but then you have to really hand it in super clean. That's why you usually hire a cleaning company to clean it for you, because it's like the apartments in Switzerland come with a complete kitchen.
Yeah.
And then you have to just hand it back like really super clean.
Yeah,
you usually, you have to have a lot of time to get to this level of cleanliness if you don't.
Exactly. and those professional companies that does the clean, it's not like, oh, okay, I'm gonna hire someone to do a nice clean and that's it. No, it doesn't work like that. It needs to be professional cleaning, which is talking about euro. It's about, in some countries, is about 700, 800 euro. So it's very expensive.
It would be quite cheap in Switzerland if you can manage to find a company cleaning your apartment below the 1,000 francs. So life is costly. You earn a lot, but it costs a lot. So
exactly. Which city were you in UK when you went there?
In Worthing. It's
where?
Worthing.
Worthing.
Really,
okay.
Do you know that? It's really quite small.
I don't remember. I don't remember on the top of my head right now. But the name of the city, yes, because I used to live in UK for several years. So that's
It's basically it's between Brighton and Southampton, which are quite well
Oh,
known
okay. Okay.
in the
Yeah.
middle on the
Yeah.
coast.
Cool.
Yeah, it's also like a city. No need to go there. No, it's quite funny. When I was in my studies, I traveled to India, and there I met an English guy, and he was like from Goring by Sea, which is a small part of Worthing, and I was like, oh wow, that's really interesting, because that's exactly where I lived then. And he was like, what? Why the hell did you go to this place? What did you do there? There's nothing. People go there to die.
They go where to die?
To Goring by Sea, which is a part of Worthing. It's just like it's just no. I think he meant to say it's just so boring. Don't go there. There's no need. No need to go there.
Why you end up there, Vera?
It's because the college was there, and it's the college had a connection with my school in Germany, so
Okay.
regularly people from Bochum went to Worthing, which is Bochum is also really not interesting. It's, I don't know. I wouldn't fancy going back there. Neither of those cities.
Well, you learned English. That's important.
Yeah.
for you.
Mission accomplished.
And tell them, because of these studies in England that you went to Brazil, because
Oh yeah, that's true. Because in England we had like quite a nice group of people, international students, and one was from Brazil, and that's how I decided I want to go to Brazil and visit him. And then when I was done with school, I went to Brazil, and then I was like, first place I went was there, catching up, and then I went to just travel around a little bit.
Did you visit Rio de Janeiro?
Yes, I flew there. I was there in the beginning.
Did you visit the city?
Also, yes.
Oh, okay. So that's where Edder's from.
Oh, nice.
Carioca, he's a Carioca.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's how he called it.
No, I'm not. I'm not Carioca. I was born in Blumenau, Santa Catarina. So when I was young, when I was 4, my parents moved to Rio de Janeiro, and I grew up here. I raised here. They raised me
I like
here.
that dress on you.
Okay, and I, to be honest, I'm feel Carioca because I live all my life here. All
What
right?
about Helder? What about do you live in Rio?
Oh, my neighbor is Grajaú.
Grajaú,
I'm
okay.
near Maracanã Stadium.
Okay.
You know?
On Tuesday, on Tuesday, I'm traveling to Rio.
Oh, you see.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be there. I will be there for 1 week, thanks to Madonna.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Are you in the show? Are you part of the show? You're one of the dancers.
He's one of the dancers.
I wish, Bruce, I wish to have the body and the salary of the dancers, you know?
I went to a birthday party in the celebranchi, the woman that was celebrating her birthday. She had a show of Madonna, and she was acting as Madonna and singing as Madonna, lip syncing. But it was
All
a
right.
great show. It's like, wow,
Fantastic.
this is so crazy.
Yeah,
It
nice,
was a
nice.
good
I
show,
know,
though. They did a good job.
I know that in Rio, everybody's talking about, I mean, because it's a huge mega pop star coming and
So,
it's gonna
Eder,
do
you're going to
this.
the show, right? You're going to the Madonna show.
It's free. It's free in the Copacabana. It's in Copacabana Beach in
Oh
front
my
of.
Oh,
God, it's
really?
gonna be so
Yeah.
busy.
It's
Wow.
in front.
Wow.
It's going to be the biggest show of her career because it's gonna be millions of people and
I
all
remember
the
the Rolling
hotels.
Stones. The Rolling Stones did a concert there too in the past.
That's correct. yeah.
Indeed. So it's gonna be very historic
Crazy.
show,
Crazy.
crazy, and all the hotels are full. The economy of Rio, it's like the Réveillon or even more because of the occupancy of the hotels and everything. So it's interesting. In 1
Wow.
week, exactly 1 week.
But you're
That's-
going there just for the show?
Yeah. So I took the opportunity to have a few days extra just
But
to
you have a
chill.
friend's house you're staying at, right?
Thank God. Yeah.
because a hotel for a week.
Otherwise,
Whoa.
otherwise, I would need to talk to Helder after our class.
Hey,
To-
Adder, open
to-
up a
to-
bed and breakfast, man. Open up
to-
this Airbnb.
Why not?
Make some money.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. Yeah, it's amazing. I think she's about 60 years old now, isn't she?
65, I believe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's just a couple years younger than I am. But wow, she's doing fantastic with her career even now.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. It's been a long time she's popular.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I think that Tina Turner lived in Switzerland, didn't she?
Yeah, it's not so long that she died, actually. She
Yeah,
lived
about-
quite close to Zurich.
Uh-huh. And
Mhm.
yeah, she had an interesting career, but it started out kind of rough, with
Yeah.
her husband being abusive with her and things. She did have, I think she had a Swiss husband.
I
Or
think
at
he
least-
was a lot younger also.
Yeah, he was younger, but I think they had a good relationship, and they
Good
had
for her.
no, she practiced Buddhism, I think, to bring about some peace in her life because of all the problems that she had with her husband Ike Turner, and so
Yeah.
she lived in Switzerland. It is very very tranquil, I guess you could say, in Switzerland with all the mountains and the fresh air, basically, if you don't have a big factory near you, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
the snow, the cooler weather. I mean,
Yeah.
Switzerland, I've been to Switzerland just one time on a vacation. It was a couple days ago, huh? A long time ago. And I remember going to Lucerne, and we went
Yeah.
to that
Me
city
too.
was beautiful.
Me too. I've been there. It's wonderful.
It's a nice city, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to that top of that mountain in
I went to the
Lucerne.
mountain. I don't know if it was the same mountain you went to, but we went to a mountain and it was in the middle of the summer, but there was snow up there. So it's like, that's cool.
Unfortunately, it's less and less snow in the summer in the mountains
Mhm.
due to
I guess-
weather changes.
I guess it should be the same, Bruce, because there is this place there which everybody goes in Lucerne to go up to the mountains, and they have it's a tail which has like a dragon there. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember.
okay.
There is a picture of the
I-
dragon.
I was in the back, like a pickup truck. I was in the back of a pickup truck, but it had a cover. Okay. I was 19 years old. I was a soldier, didn't have much money. So I went for the ride and to have some fun too. But I was not in the passenger compartment. I was in the back end, and I couldn't really talk to the people. I think they had a little sliding window or something like that, but it's like I was just there to go to someplace different, because I lived in Germany. And so I was in the back of this truck. It's called the El Camino. So I went there and I had a good time. I ate some Toblerone, okay, the chocolate. Okay, I remember that. That was good. And seeing the beautiful the lake there. I think it's Lake Lucerne, huh?
Yeah, I think it's not. This part of the lake is called Lake Lucerne because it's a bigger lake, which is actually we call it the Vierwaldstättersee, which translates to the four forests city lake, which doesn't really make a lot of sense if you translate it. But it's quite big, and it has like 4 branches. And on one of these branches lies Lucerne, and this branch then is called Lake Lucerne. So yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It was very nice. Beautiful, clean, fresh air. Really
Yeah,
nice
I
to
remember.
visit that place.
I remember I took tap water in one of the squares in Zurich. And I was like really looking forward to taste the water because I like the water, like Bruce. I think you like the water as well. I worry about water, and I like to try the water, different types of water in different places. And then I was very keen to drink Zurich water, and yeah, I found very pure, very nice taste, because it comes direct from the mountain to that little fountain where you
Mhm.
drink water. Yeah, it was nice.
One thing that impresses me about southern Germany and Switzerland, Austria, are the design of the homes, like a chalet, a very high peak, because the snow,
Mhm.
when it comes down on top of the house, if you don't have a high peak like this, the house can collapse because the snow
Totally
gets
true.
so heavy. So the peak of the house and the beautiful wood on the exterior, and then the geraniums, the red geraniums, flowers
yeah.
all around, giving the red flower. It's just amazing. So it's a white house with framed wood, a chalet roof, and then the red geranium flowers everywhere. It's like, it's beautiful, really beautiful.
It's not just decorative, actually, because they hold away the mosquitoes. That's why they put them in front of the windows.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's it actually origins from farmhouses, and obviously farm people are really good with plants, and so there's a reason why they do stuff.
Wow. That's
So if
really
you,
interesting. I like geraniums because they're so beautiful, but it
yeah,
also has an ulterior motive, huh? Because it protects them against the mosquitoes. Well, here
yeah.
in Brazil right now, we have a big problem with dengue. It's a disease that's carried by
Yeah.
mosquitoes. I mean, we have everything else too, you know, but dengue is a big one right now in Brazil. And so some people are dying, not like with COVID, but you know, a lot of people are getting sick. In fact,
Yeah.
Vanderlei, which he's one of our members in English Brazil, one of our teachers and organizers, he had dengue, and he's on the backside of it now. But he said it was rougher than COVID for him. You know, every body is different. COVID affects everybody differently. Some people get nothing, and some people die. So dengue is not as strong of a disease, but you know, it's just terrible because there are so many places where the water just sits and then the mosquitoes just multiply. And so, like right now in Rio de Janeiro, there's a big problem with dengue. In Sao Paulo, there's a big, because there's a concentration of people too. It's not only
Yeah.
the mosquitoes, but you know, a lot of people are getting dengue in these big cities. And it's like, wow, man, it's rough. I've never had dengue. I don't want it. Okay.
No, you don't need. It's actually one of the sicknesses you are warned of if you travel to southern countries from here. It's like dengue and malaria and different stuff. So yeah, it's no fun. I think it's also one you could die of if it's not treated well, right?
Right. And everybody's different, you know, every body has a different structure. So we try to give vaccines, but it doesn't work with everybody every time. So we just hope we pray we don't get these diseases because they're
just lead a
serious.
healthy life and try not to get sick at all.
Right. And put geraniums outside your window.
Yeah, could also help. And it looks nice.
Do you understand
Definitely.
that, Eder, about what we're saying about the geranium flowers, putting it outside the windows to protect the mosquitoes, because they don't like geraniums, so they don't come in your house. It's pretty cool. And they're beautiful.
Very cool, especially in the summer, they're so annoying. These mosquitoes going in and out the whole time.
You
Vera,
don't need that.
we have another question. Like for us Brazilians, let's say, we have no idea which are the most important cities in Switzerland. Is there a division like, okay, German, Switzerland, French, Switzerland, when it comes to tourism as well as financially? How do they split it? Let's say the French part, the region is known as, how do you guys do it for yourselves? Like, oh, I'm very proud, let's say, because I'm German Swiss, because we have this. And then the French, what do they say as well? Like, oh, I'm pretty much more comfortable being French Swiss because we have that. Can you tell us how? Because
it's
like,
not
everywhere they have that. São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, for instance, in Brazil we have that. everywhere we have that. So how it is for you as a Swiss?
It's not really linked to cities, it's more the regions you're then proud of. Like we link it to special cheeses or stuff, which is quite
I thought it was going to be something about food as well. Chocolates for sure.
Yeah, and then we do have the so-called Rösti Grabe, which is like a division throughout Switzerland, which Rösti is a popular food in Switzerland, which is only eaten in the east part, which is basically the German part, and in the western part it's not really eaten. It's not that popular, and but it defines more. It also defines political Switzerland. It defines like the Eastern people are more conservative, the Western are more progressive. They are more open to different ideas of life, to different things than the Eastern people, which yeah, but what are we proud of? The mountains, the Swissness. Swissness is really a big thing in Switzerland. It's like if something Swissness. If something comes from Switzerland, it's easily sold, because if you easy example, go to the supermarket, you have meat from Switzerland and you have meat from Germany. The Swissness always sells. So the meat from Switzerland is bought quicker than the meat from Germany, even so it might be a little bit more expensive. Still, it's from Switzerland, so it must be better. It's kind of like being proud of Switzerland. And
I think that's a good one as well, because Brazil is the opposite. Everything that comes from abroad, I have to have it. Oh, how nice. Oh, how beautiful. And for you guys, it's exactly the opposite. So everything that you prepare, that you made yourself, like made in Switzerland, is very important.
That's a big thing. And then if you come to big cities, yes, Zurich is the capital of finances, which is not the capital of Switzerland, but of finances. It's the biggest city in Switzerland. It's the richest city in Switzerland, I think. No, it's not the richest. Sorry, that's not true. But it's quite rich. And but funny thing is, it's not that people are proud of Zurich, because people from Zurich are proud of Zurich. People from Zurich like Zurich and love Zurich. I also do. People from the rest of the country think that Zurich and people from Zurich are arrogant.
What about Bern? What about the city Bern? Is that a popular city?
Yeah, and that's the de facto capital of Switzerland. That's where the federal government sits.
Okay.
It's not that big. It's really beautiful. It also has a really nice river flowing through it where you can swim in. It's really nice city with a nice university also.
Looks like a nice city.
It's also really old. It has a lot of really a big old city and a really traditional architectural style.
This picture here, this one picture, can you see it in the middle?
Yeah.
I remember going to many German cities like this. I mean, it's a village. It's not a city. You might have one little supermercado, which is a little supermarket there. You might have a bank, okay? You probably don't have a gas station, okay? You have a church. Normally you have a church. But it's so interesting, these little villages, when you go into what they call a guest house, like a little restaurant, which is a little community center for the village. It's amazing because the food is like, wow, this is so good, so interesting. And the hospitality is normally very good. So it's really cool going to these little villages.
Yeah, that's really, and also if you go to the centers, like the restaurants there, which are usually have one out of 5 names, which is always the same basically. You always get also really nice local food, which is really cheap, because if you just go for the lunch of the day, then it's really doable to pay it. Also for if you're not earning in Switzerland, because it's made for the working class.
Mhm.
Oh.
And then
So
Geneva,
Vera,
what do they speak in Geneva? Is that the French, probably?
yeah,
Yeah.
Bruce, that was my question. You have the map. Vera, can you show us through Bruce how the division is? It's like west and east, north and south. How the language goes? Can you tell us? Bruce is-
Yeah, it's like Geneva is French indeed.
Okay.
The border is slightly west of Bern, the border of languages, and then goes up more or less straight. Bien totally lies on the language border. That's where my mom is from.
Where?
Bien, which is
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
north of Bern.
North of Bern. Okay,
Yeah.
there. That is
There-
French.
There you speak both languages in this city.
Oh,
That's why it has a double name. Biel is German, Bien is French.
That's funny.
And then you go up and little slightly left from Basel, or Basel, how you say that in English. There is also like the language border. Basel itself is German,
Mhm.
but there it lies in the place where France and Germany and Switzerland meet. And that's Basel is also a really important city in Switzerland because it's the capital of pharmacy and
In Basel?
chemistry.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of chemical industry and a lot of pharmaceutical industry.
Oh.
Which is obviously because then if you pollute the water, it runs right out of the country.
The Rhine River.
Yeah.
It goes
It
into
goes straight
Germany.
to Germany, France, because it's for quite a long time it's the border between those two countries.
Mhm.
Vera,
Yeah.
Vera,
And then the Italian
Uh,
part.
I can see in the maps some lakes. Could
Yes.
you tell us about they for us? The lakes?
The
The
lakes.
lake.
Yeah, lakes.
There's a lot of
River.
lakes. Switzerland
Yeah.
has a lot of water. You have different lakes. The biggest lake is the lake. No, it's not Lac Léman.
Bodensee?
Bodensee. Yeah, that's
Yep.
the biggest lake, which is in between Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. That's the border runs through the lake, and it's fed by the Rhine, and the Rhine also goes out of it. It's really nice lake.
Are they tourist points?
Sorry.
They are visit points to visit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. If you go to this lake, you have a lot of nice little villages and cities along
Let
it.
me
Like
show you
for example,
this
if you
little
go to
city here.
Lindau,
This city here is called Friedrichshafen. But in this city here, you can see across the lake into Switzerland. I don't know if they have a picture here, but you can see across this big lake, and you can see the mountains in Switzerland. I've been there. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
on the
In the
opposite
winter-
side in Switzerland, you have Lindau, which is also really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
In the winter, they frozen, all right?
No,
No?
if it's a really cold winter, you may have a chance that a small area is freezing, but that's it's not happening as much anymore. It's
Okay.
and
But
they,
some of the other lakes, I think they do freeze. These others down here more, don't they?
yeah,
Vera?
Lake Zurich is also quite big actually. And
Oh,
it
Lake
was
Zurich.
yeah. My dad grew up close to Lake Zurich, and he told me that once in his childhood it was frozen. But it's like my dad is 74, so in his childhood is a long time ago, and it was only once. It's too big, I think, to actually freeze.
And then going south, you go to the Italian part. Bruce, can you go south a little bit?
Uh-huh.
Then you go to the Italian part.
I
Yeah.
saw this Matterhorn. I know that's a famous mountain.
It is like the picture mountain of Switzerland.
Mm.
Oh,
English,
is it?
French. The
Oh.
French then.
It used to be on the Toblerone, which is a really famous chocolate from Switzerland, and which comes in a triangle.
Mhm.
And but it's not anymore because Toblerone isn't made in Switzerland exclusively
made now?
anymore. So they may not use a Swiss mountain on it. So they just use a generic mountain on it. That's
Oh.
Swiss, you know? It's not
Oh.
made there anymore, so it's not allowed to use exclusively Swiss
Oh,
Swiss
oh
mountain.
dear.
It's also stupid.
Is this the biggest mountain in Switzerland?
No, it's not. It just has like a shape you recognize really easily.
Oh,
The
here's St.
highest-
Moritz too.
Yeah, that's really well known because it's the place to be if you're really rich and you want to ski.
Ah.
But I've never been there personally. It's too expensive. What is the highest mountain in Switzerland is Dufourspitze, and it's close to 4,600 meters. The highest mountain of the Alps is Mont Blanc, which is on the border between Italy and France, so it's not in Switzerland. And
Uh-huh.
it's somewhere above, a little bit more south.
Where's Geneva here? This is Switzerland. This is the border of Switzerland here, I think, right?
Yes, right.
So where is it?
And
Mont
then-
Blanc? No, what is it?
Yeah, Mont Blanc is, if you go
South a
with your
little bit.
cursor, it goes south.
I see it's there.
You see it?
It's close to your Chrome sign.
Close to the what?
You have to go south.
You're
Yes,
south.
yes, almost.
Yeah,
Oh, no, left to the left.
Charmant.
yeah. No, you almost hit it. You almost hit it. Go
You're
back to
there.
the right,
No, a
little
little
bit
bit to
more
the
right.
right.
and
Ah,
yeah,
here it
there you got
is.
it. Yeah,
Mont
now you got
Blanc.
it. That's the highest mountain, and it's I think it's something like 4,800 meters high.
Wow. They
and
have
this
a
is-
tunnel
it-
underneath that mountain, don't they? Have a tunnel?
I'm not sure it runs straight under this mountain. I think there's something in the close to it, but it's.
I know I went through a long tunnel, and I thought it was in this area, but it was.
Did you go by car?
Yes.
Oh no, so it's further in the east. That's
Okay.
Gotthard. That's
Okay.
the longest tunnel you can ride in a car.
It
It's
was,
17
it
kilometers.
was like long, about an hour-long tunnel or something like that. Wasn't that long? But
Yeah, it's like 17 kilometers, and it's just like a two-way tunnel. So you meet, you just have one lane, and
Mhm.
you come have traffic coming your way, but you need to have your radio on, and you need to have a particular distance to the car in front of you. Otherwise, they talk to you on the radio that you need to slow down.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
because it's really not safe, actually.
Oh, I
If
was
you-
going to
if
ask
you-
you,
if you
what
behave.
language do they speak in Liechtenstein?
Swiss German.
Swiss German, because it's a little country between Switzerland and Austria.
Yeah, it's really small. I read a fun fact about Liechtenstein that goes like they went to war with like 80 people in their army, and they came back with 81 because they made friends with someone and took them home.
That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, so it's a little country of its own, but this is very interesting talking to you, Vera, today about Switzerland. I think it's a beautiful country full of beautiful places. I think the people are nice. You're nice, so they must all be nice, right?
Oh, thanks.
Yes, I think so. Yes,
Yeah,
guys. So we are running out of time. We all would like to thank you, Vera, for taking the time to help us
Yes.
out with this new project, English Brazil. I
So
really
welcome.
hope you'll be back soon to talk to new members and other members, because today you see sometimes in the mornings are difficult for the Brazilians. Now it's 10 a.m. there.
Yeah.
Some of them, they went out, they had some good time last night, so they don't feel like waking up early to start a session. So we're gonna try another time. I hope you're gonna be available and you wanna help us out.
Yes,
So thank you so
definitely.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye, you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Y'all have a
Bye.
good Saturday. Bye-bye,
You
guys.
too.
Thank you.
I hope see you soon.
Yes.